The same victims, the same people paying taxes on the outside to make sure that when they're teeth hurting them, they bring them by the dentist. So they will tell you, jail nice. Jail is their home. There is no rehabilitation going on at the Stockton prison. There is no rehabilitation. They will go away for 8 years, 10 years, and then they will come out. And like memoir pool, we will forget their faces, and we'll have a offenders registry to notify the public, to be on the alert for these kind of people.
Instead, they're following us wherever we go.
I come into that, brother.
Yeah, look from there.
They will expend resources to frustrate and intimidate people from exercising their constitutional rights. Rights that have been enshrined in the first pages of the Constitution. Later on, the Constitution goes on to create the police by saying there shall be a police, there shall be a prime minister, there shall be a president. So all these creatures of the Constitution cannot exist if I do not have my rights, if I do not have value in the society. And what is even more valuable than me is the legacy that I want to leave through my children.
Yes, sir.
Because money is not worth protecting.
No, sir.
Land, we can walk away from land.
Yeah.
We can walk away from property. We can walk away from riches.
Yes, sir.
But when a man offends our children, violates, and I want to make sure that you see that word there, violate. The key word of violate is violence. So anywhere there is violation, there is violence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We cannot wait for when blood is shed to say that there is violence. Provocation is a crime.
Yes.
Provocation is violence. Intimidation is violence. Because when I give you the duty to protect me and my child, and you take that duty and you turn it against me, to take your guns, to tell me I cannot talk on the public road, that I cannot assemble with people who are hurting just like me. Because you come out with your guns, you take state resources that have been given to you to protect us, and you turn it against us. And now you are telling us we cannot protect our children, we cannot protect ourselves because you have the responsibility to protect us. Do you truly protect us? Are you truly protecting us? What is it that the police is afraid of? I tell you again, to be led by a coward is to be afraid of everything that the coward is afraid of. So if a coward is leading you, every time the coward jump, you're going to jump too. You understand?
Portsmouth, where are the universities that you were promised?
The people depend on Ross until in a house like Ghost Dog is a hit.
Where are the 6 universities?
Portsmouth, let us rise up, man. Let us rise up. Let us rise up. Let us change Portsmouth back to the city. The second tongue. Let us change it, man.
So you think the government has failed then?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Failed big time. Dominica has failed. And we have to bring it back up.
Okay. So what would you propose to bring it back up?
The proposal I'll give is bring back the jobs, bring back the university for this.
We want our country back.
And you bring back the factories to build back the country, and all the passports money, try to let it build Dominica back. Put Dominica back on track. Dominica is losing. We are losing big time.
So you said bring back the universities. You think Ross would come back?
Yeah, well, Ross can come back because remember, it's sold Ross to Barbados, you know. We give them a deal. We take out our resources and we send it down to Barbados. So let us bring it back to this country, man.
So you think Ross would want to come back?
Ross will come back because remember they got all their things right there, you know.
So if Ross would come come back? Why isn't the government initiating them though?
Well, the government, remember, the government is on a deal with the lady from Barbados.
So you think the government sold out Dominican?
Of course, been sold big time.
Okay.
Sold out big time. So which in case, if we supposed to have that loss in this country, we're losing a lot of business. We lose all factories in this country that this government. Not that this government is a government that like mislead the people, and still having the people misled. So we have to come back and bring.
But with that said, do you think it's the government or do you think it's the people?
In our country, no matter what political party is in power, that is the message that we come to deliver.
Yeah. So tell me, do you think it is the government or the people themselves that are doing this?
The government is the first, because you got a head and you got a tail. You got the head. The head is the one who directs everything. The head is the one who directs everything. And if you don't have a head, you don't have a country. But you gotta have the head. And this government failed it. He had supposed to at least any factory that live in this country, anywhere in the world, a government supposed to come to you and tell you, you're going to mislead your people, you're going to take out at least 200 to 300 people out of jobs. Where are you going to send them to? You're going to send them to me, to ask me?
But the question I'm asking is, do you think it's the people's fault? Because it seems like the people who are voting for them though.
Yeah, it's the people's fault.
It's the people's fault.
Because the people's fault, because the people can stand.
And they are
not doing it.
Okay.
They can stand.
Yeah.
They can stand. Mr. Like that, they can stand.
But they're not doing it.
They are not doing it.
Why do you think that is though?
Well, it's a bunch of buying for like $100, $200. Like look, $200.
So they're selling themselves shortly.
Yeah, shortly. Like
Okay.
they cannot hold the level of them, man. You see?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot. Bless you.
Yes, Mr.
Easy.
Yes.
When God commands, even the devil has to obey. When God commands, even the devil has to obey. Let us go.
Uncle Foster John, he was the biggest laborer. Foster John, he lives in Zikak, he lived in Zikak. He was the biggest laborer in Portsmouth. He died, nothing they do for him. They don't build his house, nothing. They promised him and they gave him nothing.
But do you think it's the government's responsibility to build people's houses? Or you think there's a cause to this, why this is happening?
Well, what I would say, the government, everywhere is supposed to have institution to help people, right? And he needed that, like this government. That is what they do. They put it on themselves to build houses for people. It is not right, but fair. But what I'm saying now, they promised him the house. They should have helped him out because they were helping everybody, all their people, the laborers. They were helping the laborers. Seeing that he is a laborer, he should have gotten assistance from them.
So why do you think he didn't?
I don't know why he did not. I really don't know why he did not get the assistance from them. I don't know.
But a lot of people are saying it's because they kill the economy, and as a result of them killing the economy, they create loyalty because you want things from them, so you don't talk, you don't say, or you do come up and show yourself as being somebody who's not for the government.
Well, he was for the government. He was for them because, like I tell you, he's the biggest laborer in Portsmouth. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They kill the economy, yes, but they have some money somewhere, the CBI money. They used to do all kind of things, and they should be helping them. Okay? So they're not helping who they're supposed to help. Right?
I think they should be helping everybody.
Well, everybody, yes, they should help everybody, not their people, but they put it to help their people,
and they're not doing
and they're still not doing it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
So look at that. Look at that. What is that? In the middle of Portsmouth. What is that?
Myself,
you know, I don't know what is going on. I really don't know what is going on.
Community. Do you understand what community is? Community means that if one among us is suffering, that all of us should suffer.
Yeah.
Look at our environment. Look around our school. Are the construction companies not aware of that kind of a situation next to the school? Show them, Mr. Lick. Show them. You understand? Look around. Can they see that everyone in the community deserves upliftment? And not just one set. We cannot allow indifference to permeate our society.
Lady,
That we will walk and turn a blind eye to other people.
Raise Ross! Raise Ross! All we depend on Ross until they look at it. Yes, I do.
Them people stifling and they're not talking, they're not doing nothing. Scary promise you back universities, we are there!
Those who are broken in spirit, those who do not have resources, those who do not have money, there is one thing that God has given all of us, and we must use it. It is our voice. We must use our voice to defend the voiceless, to spread righteousness, to build community, to support each other, to lift up each other. And that is why I tell you, do not antagonize the good people of the church. Let your conscience be them, dear guys.
That's right.
If God and the Holy Spirit has stirred them, then they will act.
Yes.
And if they act, then by their fruits we will know them.
Yes.
Let us continue to spread the word,
Yes.
the word of righteousness. Because I used to live road and come to Portsmouth for all my feting, for all my good time. Everything was in Portsmouth. What has happened to you, Portsmouth? What has happened to you, Portsmouth?
So what do you see is going on right now?
Where I see people walking in the streets and talking for justice and equal rights in Jamaica and development.
In Jamaica?
In Dominica.
In Dominica, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so on the basis of what is taking place, even with the kidnapping that we heard or the abduction that we heard earlier on about the little one, and you can pretty much see that the people are talking against these kind of things, and yet still there's some sort of oppression seemingly happening where the police is following and trying to take pictures of people and this kind of thing. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, people must speak the truth, and people have to stand up for truth. Whether if it's a few that is positive is plenty much stronger than the plenty negative.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
That is the most.
I agree. I like that. Anyways, bless up. Guidance. You don't know. Easy.
So what drain be Dominica? After all. This is the scary drain. No boy.
And when it overflows, it comes there and then.
Yes.
And hurricane season is coming up though.
Okay.
What do you think they're doing? Have you heard anything about the hurricane? Are they doing anything for the hurricane season? Papa. Are you guys hearing anything about the hurricane season? What they doing?
Go and send your children and play sports.
The ball going that, the shrine going to run going that.
That's true.
A government that care about the people and the country, Portsmouth should have been the city.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Especially
Roseau has no space.
Since the government is from the north.
The north, exactly.
So,
but when you look at Portsmouth, there is vast area for improvement.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But the government cannot see anything but money for their pockets, and that's all there is.
There's always a question I tend to ask: is Dominica better? We in Portsmouth now, but is Portsmouth better than it was 10 years ago?
Bro, the entire country was much better 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
25, 30 years ago. Because you had all hawks going all over the Caribbean.
Yep, I remember when they used to have bananas and they used to come all the way down to Borough
That is correct. I remember once I was at Montserrat and you could see the boatsmen just coming, man, one after the other from the A.
From Dominica.
This is no more.
That doesn't be,
This is no more. This is gone.
Yeah.
Gone. But bro, it's a shame. It's a shame what we have allowed Scary to do to our country.
Yep.
And they are not stopping because we are not doing anything about it. A few years ago, the Lord put in my vision, and this is what He showed me. I was heading up north. I live in Point Michelle, and I was heading up north. And while walking on my way, I saw Scary standing on the side of the road. Just as I was about to pass him, I heard you. I made a few more steps. I heard a second you. And I tipped my head this way. And I looked at him. And he pointed at me and said to me, I know who you are. And I pointed back at him and I said to him, I know who you are too. As soon as I said that, I saw his head swell opened. 2 holes in his forehead. And I saw his 2 eyes transform from human to beast. This is what the Lord showed me in my vision. Our Prime Minister.
Fair food that works is dead.
And the situation you see in Portsmouth, is it something that you can say, okay, there needs to be change? Do you think that the people are not doing enough? What are your thoughts?
There need change in Portsmouth. For a long time, Portsmouth have been asleep, and it looked like they've been sleeping all the time. Right? And I think that now is the time that people should wake up, open themselves, because redemption draweth nigh.
Yeah, but I also think people can actually see. I mean, look at behind you. They can actually see this stuff, but why do you think they're not doing anything about it?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's they work all beyond the people of Portsmouth. I don't know. I don't know if the devil are taking care of the mind. I don't know. I don't understand it myself, because I live here all my life. I live here practically all my life. And 20 years ago, 30 years ago was better than we see it before, so we're regressing. So if people around us doesn't see that we're regressing, they doesn't see that we're going back. You know, so many Christians in Portsmouth, so many churches, and it seems like everybody afraid. What we are afraid of? The Bible tells us, faith without works is dead. And unless we get up and do something, let people know, if we give that the mandate is to work for us. It's for our betterment, not for a few.
I agree.
Not for a few.
I agree.
It's for our betterment. And I think now is the time that we should rise up. We've been praying all the time. We've been praying all the time. And they're saying to us every day, pray, pray, pray. But we've been praying. But now is the time to act. Now is the time to walk. Let people notice that we're not satisfied with what's going on around us.
I think people see, but they lack understanding what they see.
I have my own investment in Picard. I have an investment in Picard. All right, and the house is just there watching me. Who paying the mortgage? Nobody's saying anything to me. And it's just there watching me. Who paying the mortgage? If we let us watch this carefully. If Ross leave Dominica, all right, there was a problem in Ross. We sometimes just say the business schoolie. If Ross schoolie, well, we know Ross schoolie, and Ross gone. All right, but we know Ross is alive. Ross left Dominica and go to Barbados. It cost them something to go to Barbados. Ross could have well been here. And after all those years, they're telling us 5 universities will come to Portsmouth. Up to today, we're not seeing anything. So what we should say, just lie down and die. Don't say anything and we're affected. Don't say anything and we're feeling the pain. I'm feeling the pain. Because of investment in Ross and nobody's saying anything to me. So what I must do, don't say anything.
If you don't say nothing, nobody gonna feel you up.
Nobody don't feel nothing hurting you.
Hey, a foot bad. So let's go, okay, we can help you. And Mr. Lake, speak of yourself, give thanks. And you see, as idea, I really want to talk about the field. That field, that space. That space is, boy, that space is potential. Multi-purpose, that space. See this stadium in put in Tongue? They should have leave Windsor Park in Tongue and bring the stadium there.
I agree.
So we have Windsor Park in Tongue and another stadium there. We take out Windsor Park and put a stadium in Tongue. So we take out something to put something else. And we still do have nothing there. When we could have two. We're like idiots, my brother. And we can't follow idiots, my brother. It's marshy, boy. Look at the place, Rasta. You see this size of that field? They have a whole regulation football field that can take international games, World Cup games, that field there. You understand me? And it's still another two.
And we also have the apartments to facilitate that as well.
Exactly, Rasta. Sports tourism. Look it right there. Look the money there, Rasta. Activities create opportunities. You understand me?
The question I really want to ask is why aren't the people seeing that though?
They're blind.
They seen it, but they feel like what they feel like is the people in the leaders that they put to administer is they that have to do it. But if you're not putting pressure on them, that's what we want. That's our will. Then they will not do it. But our people, what I realize, a lot of people are ignorant of their responsibilities.
So it's a lack of understanding.
Yes,
because they're
brother.
seeing it, but they don't understand what is going on.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of greed as well because people seem to be focused on themselves. What can I get? When they realize their children is coming up and
and then if you do something for us in the place, then you'll continue getting. Because if you say, hey, forget about giving me personal and all of that. Let's all you want to give us together, let's invest it in that. If we do that for the community, then all of us are going to benefit from it. Because everybody, when they go to an activity take place there, all the stores, all the shops.
But as you saying that there, I remember speaking to some individuals who were talking about that they're trying to do something. And when they started doing something, it seems like the people at the top are pretty much bringing them down so they won't do much. So do you think that there's a hindrance happening from the top to the bottom?
Of course there is. Because
why do you think that is though?
Because they fear the potential of the people. They want to remain in their positions by crippling the competition. They feel like they see us as competition rather that we complement. You're supposed to embrace what we want to do, our potential,
And the
so
lack
that
of
we can
innovation.
together build bigger. But instead, they want to stay in the mediocre thing and fight down those that come in with the progressive vibes.
So they can keep them down,
So they
to
can-
keep them in
Yeah,
control. Okay.
that's right, and that is what that hurting us.
Well, words is in Possie and we want to see everything change, you know. Yeah, that's a nice piece of parkway, boy. That's it. Two football field, boy.
You can play football and cricket at the same
Boy,
time.
two football fields, you have two big games playing there one time.
Yep, I've seen it happen on a number of
Yeah,
times.
man. Think about
Basketball, football, athletics, cricket. All
man,
those
we think I put the indoor there and I want to make them nice now, boy. Right.
That's what should happen.
Other people seeing our resources like a gold mine.
Man, we don't see it.
You understand? So just imagine if we had gold. Well, it's speculation. People say that we have gold. You
Yeah,
check me.
they say
But
volcanic.
just imagine we had gold. They'll be busy to exploit that as a resource. You
Or they might let
understand?
the foreigners come in and do it.
You know why? Because they have total domination and control on the returns on that investment. You check, I tell you,
Yeah.
they will do what they have to do so they can suck out the profit, the benefit for themselves. You understand? But things like human resource, when you're talking about seeing potential, seeing the gold in your human resource, not just your human, but your young people especially. Huh? When you make that kind of investment and these people go out there and represent not just for the country but for themselves and other young people like themselves, you know what happens? These people become millionaires. These people become the people, the drivers behind projects like what we're talking about there, because these people have the potential to make millions of their own. You understand? On their merit, on their effort. And then because they have seen that has worked for them, they will come and they will try to pave a concrete road for others to use towards that same achievement. You understand?
But I think that's what they're trying to prevent.
But exactly, because there's no way to control that.
Yep.
You understand?
If you take away the independence of people,
when
then
somebody
they become
realizes their own potential, tell me how you can
That is probably another thing. People probably don't realize their own potential.
You can say that too.
So that's another thing.
That's
again.
an understatement.
That's true.
We're walking, and we're walking in white and in purity. You know, about this madness that's, you know, crystallized in Dominica, but it's a global issue. It's people are standing on the side whilst they get trampled. And so this silent white walk is about peace, and it's about making a statement. And as we've just seen, we just in our little walk, how dead and dirty Portsmouth is. And this is a major second city. It's just garbage all over the place. I hope your camera caught some of it. It was pretty disgusting. And now we come to Indian River, and we have this road, they say, that's being built, right? Now it's a bypass road, it may make sense, but I don't know why you have to put it on the bank. You could have put it here. You understand? So that you protect the bank. One of the major issues of our Indian River is that it's on a swamp. All of this is swampland, and so it's able to absorb the moisture so that it doesn't flood. Now what happens is that just with Nanton and why the thing is because he's dumping his waste into the swamp because nobody can see it. It disappears, it sinks and it disappears. But it stops the drainage. And so that's why they had the flooding. Now the same thing with here. With this road, there's going to be no seepage. And so what's going to happen is that the river is going to back up and then flood like onto the savannah, etc. And this started from there. I remember when I was a tour guide back in the early 90s, that was a major bird watching place. Oh, where the bank is, right? That was all swamp, right? And we used to go up there with the boats and you used to walk. And that was the big part of the trip, was the amount of birds you would see, right? Because swamp have birds, because it's swamp and worms and all kind of things they can eat. And from the time they built that, right, the whole swamp started to die because it was a swamp, but it still had trees and so on. So the whole back of it is now dead. And what they're doing is they're filling it, right, to build houses in Glanvilla. And so this total buying into Western development is really our problem, right? And so we have to look at ways that our cultural history, as I was talking, our Mao, you know, and I must say, it's dread consciousness. If we don't understand that it's the land and farming and Ital living that's going to be the change, then we're lost. I mean, I am coming from that consciousness, but I'm telling you that consciousness is the answer for black people all over the world.
Especially for the nature itself.
And for the nature, but it starts in Dominica. Remember, development has destroyed the environment all over the world. Major destruction.
And we're seeing it in this nature island of the world, and that's the issue.
Even by our pools as well.
Everywhere. You see, we're following it. When the man talk about abducting children, all of that, we're following a culture, right? We are following a culture because we have been importing that through television, etc. Unless we start defining ourselves, we walk into nowhere.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.